Good morning. Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Wednesday, September the 10th. We're here to look at the new releases that are published this week in the category of crime fiction and thrillers. Hope you are having a good day. Welcome in. Mary says, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday and hump day. Hooray! Indeed. I saw a meme with a camel on it, as they do for Wednesdays, and it said, what do you call a Wednesday without a camel? What do you call a camel that's not on Wednesday? Whatever it was. And it was hump free. All right, dad joke. Well, let us jump in. Quick announcements. I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't do them on Wednesday night. Our next sprints are tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. I usually start about 10 minutes early, depending on traffic. And our next morning show is Friday morning. We'll be looking at the rest of the Cozy Mysteries. Here we go. First up, the new Dan Brown. It has been 8 years since the last book. He's taken his time to write those 688 pages. This is 6th in the Da Vinci Code series. Da Vinci Code was actually book 2. All right, this is called The Secret of Secrets. Robert Langdon, esteemed professor of symbology, travels to Prague to attend a groundbreaking lecture by Catherine Solomon, a prominent noetic scientist with whom he has recently begun a relationship. Catherine is on the verge of publishing an explosive book that contains startling discoveries about the nature of human consciousness and threatens to disrupt centuries of established belief. But a brutal murder catapults the trip into chaos, and Catherine suddenly disappears along with her manuscript. Langdon finds himself targeted by a powerful organization and hunted by a chilling assailant sprung from Prague's most ancient mythology. As the plot expands into London and New York, Langdon desperately searches for Catherine and for answers. In a thrilling race through the dual worlds of futuristic science and mystical lore, he uncovers a shocking truth about a secret project that will forever change the way we think about the human mind. Excuse me, yes, I do have it. I read the first page and then I got approved for an advanced reading copy of a book that comes out later this month. So I've had to put that one on pause. But yeah, Da Vinci Code type of books, of which this is actually one, are my guilty pleasure. I love stories like that. Mary says, do you remember the ad with the cat? Yes, I laugh every time I saw it. And Mary says, can't wait to get the new Dan Brown. I like how he writes, not even to mention he usually has a great storyline. Yeah. There's not a disclaimer, but a note in the beginning that says all documents are real, all symbols are real. I just love that kind of stuff. Sorry, I had to check Keo. All This Could Be Yours by Hank Philippi Ryan, who is, I've seen her in conventions. So this is a thriller. This does not seem to be part of any series. Debut sensation Tessa Calloway is on a whirlwind book tour for her instant bestseller, All This Could Be Yours. In a different city every night, Tessa receives standing ovations from adoring fans while her husband Henry and their 2 children cheer her on from their brand new dream house. But there's a chilling problem with Tessa's triumphant book tour. She soon discovers she is being stalked by someone who's obsessed not only with sabotaging her career, but also with destroying her perfect family back home. Tessa fears the fallout from an impossible decision she once made. What felt like a genuine deal with the devil appears to be coming due. And she's realizing that every high-stakes bargain comes with a high-stakes price. If Tessa can't untangle who's threatening to expose her darkest secrets, she'll lose her career, her family, and possibly her life. Hot Wax by M.L. Rio. Oh, this is the author of a dark academia book that is, I believe, is very popular. Summer 1989. I remember that summer. 10-year-old Suzanne is drawn like a magnet to her father's forbidden world of electric guitars and tricked-out cars. When her mother remarries, she jumps at the chance to tag along on the concert tour that just might be Gil and the Kills' wild ride to glory. But fame has sharper fangs than anybody realized, and as the band blazes up the charts, internal power struggles set Gil and his group on a collision course destined for a bloody reckoning, one shrouded in mystery and lore for decades to come. The only witness to a desperate act of violence, Suzanne spends the next 29 years trying to disappear. She trades the music and mayhem of her youth for the quiet of the suburbs and the company of her mild-mannered husband, Rob. But when her father's sudden death resurrects the troubled past she tried so hard to bury, she leaves it all behind and hits the road in search of answers, hitching her fate and Gil's beloved car to two vagabonds who call an old Airstream trailer home. She finds everything she thought she'd lost forever: desire, adventure, and the woman she once wanted to be. But Rob refuses to let her go. Determined to bring her back where she belongs, he chases her across the country and drives her to a desperation all her own. That seems kind of weird. Knowing you thought it was going to be a voyage of discovery kind of thing, and then it kind of took a little twist there at the end. Scar the Sky by J. Todd Scott. Kyo, stop. Everything changed for Andy Ellis when she was struck by lightning and her heart stopped. Andy was resuscitated and she was never the same. Electronics strangely malfunctioned in her presence. And he has a hairball. Clocks can't keep time, batteries swiftly die, and while many lightning strike victims are left with temporary lightning tree markings, on her they are permanent scars. 8 years later, why did I keep trying to say 8 years later, Andy and there it is, 8-year-old daughter and a fellow lightning strike survivor have fled Texas and Andy's dangerous ex to go off the grid in a strange and secluded desert community. Meanwhile, 2 private investigators pursue USU Senator's missing daughter, who they find too late. Kyo, are you okay? Do you need some water? Stop talking. When searching for information on the strange lightning scars on the girl's body, they find themselves pulled into an FBI investigation. People who have been struck by lightning are being murdered. As the death toll mounts, the task force traces the killer farther west, closer and closer to Andy Ellis and her daughter, and the haven she's carefully created. Mary says, going to Roslin Chapel in Scotland in a couple of weeks. Oh, wow. Featured, yes, it does. In the Da Vinci Code, it is a fascinating and beautifully sacred place. Oh, travel safely. What great memories. I know you've been that side of the pond before, but oh, very cool. Crooks by Lou Burney. You never met a family like the Mercurios. They say the American dream is going farther in life than your parents ever did, but how does that work if your parents are criminals? For Betty, a low-level mob wise guy, and Lillian, a charming pickpocket, the criminal underworld is the only life they've ever known. When they're forced to flee the glittering Babylon of Las Vegas, they end up opening a club in Oklahoma City, a town that quickly feels like a gold mine of fresh marks and easy new money. Along for the ride are their 5 children, all of whom raised into the family business of crime until the day comes when they each have a chance to make their own way in the world, even if they can never completely escape the family's long dark shadows. Jeremy, the family's golden boy, will throw himself into glittering excesses of a drug-fueled Hollywood in the roaring 1980s. Tallulah, the daredevil, will find herself in the deadly Wild West of post-communist Moscow. Ray, the dope, the dumb muscle since he was a kid, wants nothing more than to put down his gun but follow orders is all he's ever known. Alice, the genius who renounced her life of crime long ago, now sees her white shoe law firm being blackmailed and must tap into old skills to save both the company and her own life. And Piggy, a civilian always on the outside looking in on his crime family, desperate to be part of the gang. This is an epic novel about a truly unforgettable family. The Clive Cussler estate has a new one. This is written by Jack DeBrule. 15th in the Isaac Bell series. They are counting it. Van Dorn agent Isaac Bell knows that when the President of the United States asks you to undertake a special mission, the only appropriate answer is, "Right away, sir." As an official observer, Bell is supposed to avoid action, but that's like asking a fish to shun water. After battling in the trenches, he finds himself flying beside a group of allied aviators, unwilling to let them fight alone, even when they are faced with capture. Bell and his compatriots are imprisoned in a medieval castle, one that's withstood the test of time and countless assaults by conventional weapons in its history. Escape lies tantalizingly close, but only with the help of the latest in battlefield technology. But freedom may be short-lived. Even in the middle of a world war, Bell finds there are forces worse than those arrayed against the Americans on the battlefield. Opponents who are so evil that they are willing to set aside whatever rules of war still exist to take the fight to where they think it belongs, the streets of the United States. And there's only one man who can stop them. Isaac Bell. A Killer Motive by Hannah Mary McKinnon. You never know who's listening. To Stella Dixon, sneaking her teenage brother out of their parents' house for a beach party was harmless fun until Max disappeared without a trace. 6 years later, Stella's family is still broken and she can't let go of her guilt. The only thing that keeps her going is helping other families find closure through A Killer Motive, her true crime podcast. In a bid to find new sponsors and keep making episodes, Stella goes on a local radio show. But when she says on air that if she had just one clue, she'd find Max and bring whoever hurt him to justice, someone takes it as a challenge. A mysterious invitation to play a game arrives with the promise that if Stella wins, she'll get information about what happened to Max. Stella thinks it's a sick joke, until Max's best friend vanishes, and she's given new instructions: tell nobody or people will die. Desperate and unable to trust anyone, Stella agrees. But beating a twisted, invisible enemy seems impossible when they make all the rules. Well, that sounds like a thriller. A thrilling thriller. Danger, No Problem by Cindy Fuzzy. First in the Domingo the Bounty Hunter series. So you're leaving in a couple weeks. How long are you going to be over there? Mary, my love. Keo, stop licking. He looks at me. Domingo's latest job is to bring in Monica Reed again. In all his years as a bounty hunter, Monica is the only target who's ever given him the slip and the only one he's ever let go. Domingo takes his work seriously, rooting out fugitives who have no regard for the law. Added bonus, it gives him plenty of fodder for the book he's writing on the side. As Domingo works to flesh out Monica for the third time, he uncovers more layers to her story. Dark secrets, hidden sacrifices, and shocking discoveries point to a dangerous truth she'll risk her life to expose. Now Domingo must decide which side he's actually on. End of that row. The PJ Tracy collaboration has a new one in the Monkey Wrench series. I read the first few of these and then fell away, as I usually do. The Deepest Cut. Minneapolis homicide detectives Leo Magosi and Gino Ralseth arrest a sadistic pair of killers for the murder of several women with the help of Monkey Wrench, their eccentric cyber sleuth friends and partners. One of the killers dies in custody, and the other, Wolfgang Maurer, is sent to a maximum security mental hospital in a rural corner of Minnesota. There, Maurer plots his escape and his vengeance. With the help of his mother, a former militia leader and assassin living in an extravagant, reclusive life, he schemes to get out of the mental hospital and hunt down the detectives and the Monkey Wrench crew that got him a life sentence. When Maurer successfully escapes, an inexperienced county sheriff is thrown headfirst into a massive manhunt for the murderer. When she finds 3 bodies and discovers that Mauer has kidnapped a young boy, she realizes that Mauer's escape was just the beginning. With many lives on the line, Magosi, Gino, and Monkey Wrench join in the desperate search effort. The longer he's at large, the more people will die, and Mauer is on a mission to find those who sentenced him. So they all have targets on their backs. Jeffrey Deaver has a new one in collaboration with Isabella Maldonado. Where he says 10 days, leaving in exactly 2 weeks, going with my family, only missing 2 grandchildren. Wow. But taking 2 littles, great-grands 4 and 18 months. Wow. Should be an interesting and very fun time. Oh, that sounds so good. I'm so happy for you. This book is called The Grave Artist, second in the Sanchez and Heron series. A wedding reception is coming to a close in the Hollywood Hills when the blissful day is shattered by the death of one of the newlyweds. Though the incident appears to be an accident, Homeland Security Investigations agent Carmen Sanchez and her partner, security expert Jake Heron, discover that the tragedy is the third in a series of similar deaths and conclude something far more sinister is at play. The two uncover evidence pointing to a serial killer who has taken evil to the next level. Dubbed the honeymoon killer, this man isn't interested in his victims, but in creating his own macabre masterpiece from their graves. Focused on the survivors and reveling in their grief, and now his dark obsession has turned to Carmen and Jake. The Hollywood killer has decided they are the perfect next target. Take one out and delight as the other crumbles. Time is running out as a deadly game between predator and prey begins. Sunday or the Highway by, this is the second in the Cindy Fozzie series. Oh yeah, they both came out on the same day. All right. As a bounty hunter specializing in immigrants who do their status dirty, Domingo has had his fair share of dicey jobs, from traffickers peddling drugs, guns, and people to murderers and other fugitives. Domingo loves nothing more than putting the bad guys away, but his life's not exactly fun and games, etc. We won't go into the details on that one since we kind of have the setup in the other one, but that is book 2. The author released both today on Kindle Unlimited. Kyo, are you okay? If you would stop licking, you wouldn't create those hairballs. Ragnar Jonasson has a new one. He's just hoping to see coos, the Highland cows. Oh, that's going to be so cool. Land in Edinburgh and do that area and then up to the Highlands. My 4-year great-grand is sure we will see Nessie taking boat ride on the lake. So maybe, oh my gosh. It just keeps getting better. That's fabulous. This one is called The Mysterious Case of the Missing Crime Writer. One winter evening, best-selling crime author Elaine S. Jonsdottir goes missing. He's from Iceland. There are no clues to her disappearance, and it's up to young detective Helgi to crack the case before it's leaked to the press. As Helgi interviews the people closest to her, a publisher, an accountant, a retired judge, he realizes that Elaine's life wasn't what it seemed. In fact, her past is even stranger than the fiction she wrote. As the case of the missing crime writer becomes more mysterious by the hour, Helgi must uncover the secrets of the writer's very unexpected life. I saw this author at a mystery book convention years ago when he was publishing his very first book, so it's probably been a very long time now. And at that time, he was a very earnest young guy and very much loved Agatha Christie. So a lot of his books have that flavor to them. I'm glad he has a career. And Mick Herron has a new one in the Slow House series. This is 9th in that series. This is called Clown Town. Old spies grow ridiculous, River. Old spies aren't much better than clowns. Or so David Cartwright, the late retired head of MI5, used to tell his grandson. He forgot to add that old spies can be dangerous too, especially if they've fallen on hard times, as River Cartwright is about to learn the hard way. David Cartwright, long buried, has left his library to the Spooks College in Oxford, and now one of the books is missing, or perhaps it never existed. River, once a slow horse of Slow House, MI5's outpost for demoted and disgraced spies, has some time to kill while awaiting medical clearance to return to work and starts investigating the secrets of his grandfather's library. Over at the Park MI5 first desk, Diana Taverner is in a pickle. An operation carried out during the height of the Troubles laid bare the ugly side of the state security, and those involved are threatening to expose details. But every threat hides an opportunity, and Taverner has come up with a scheme. All she needs is the right dupe to get caught holding the bag. Jackson Lamb, the enigmatic... Wow, we haven't had a drinking game in a long time. Drinking game. An odoriferous head of Slow House has no plans to send in the clowns. On the other hand, if the clowns ignore his instructions, any harm that befalls them is hardly his fault. But they're his clowns, and if they don't all make it home, there'll be a reckoning. I keep trying to read this series, and they have created a mini-series that's on Apple, starring Gary Oldman. Excellent actor. But that is all we have for the darker side of mysteries today, this week. And I need to go see what kind of hairball situation Keo's got going on. Yeah, he's still trying to cough up something. So, hope you guys have a very good day. Be safe. Read good books. Hope to see you on Friday for the rest of the Cozy Mysteries. And again, I don't have any sprints tonight. Our next sprints are tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Please have a very good day. Be safe. And as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day. God bless.